It's the wealthiest region on the planet. The words tallest, largest and richest precede virtually everything and everyone here in Dubai, the epicentre of extravagance. In this part of the world, status is everything, and behind the gold-plated gates lie a whole host of exotic pets. In the desert, just a mile from the world's tallest building, staff at Dubai's largest animal hospital prepare for another busy day. Head vet Chris Lloyd is about to operate on the most unlikely patient.
We just started to sedate this Arctic fox that we've had in the hospital for a few days. It broke its leg about a week and a half ago. Unfortunately, it had chewed at the wound, and the wound was very, very swollen. So we've been dealing with quite a nasty fracture at the same time as an open wound. Happy?
Yeah.
In the last week or so, we've been doing a lot of daily sedations and wound cleanings, and today's just another stage. Last time we changed it was 2 days ago, so hopefully we'll see an improvement in the wound today. It's a pretty nasty lesion, and there's a possibility that his leg, might not make it.
So I'm just soaking these bandages so we can take them off without destroying any of the new tissue that's hopefully forming underneath.
This particular fox belongs to one of the large private zoo collections that Chris looks after throughout the year.
We're going up to have a look at some of their cranes. They've got some Siberian cranes which they want to have sexed, so we're going to endoscope those. And then we're going to have a look at one of the tigers that's had a wound on it for a while, and see whether we think it requires suturing or not. And we're going to look at an ibex, which is a sort of mountain goat that's possibly got an infection in its horn or in the sinus in the front of its head. And possibly have a look at a little tamarin that might have been caught in a fight. It's got a bit of a cut lower there. So a few things to look at. Right. Okay. We see anything such as cheetahs, tigers, lions.
Honeydew. Oh yes, I know, you like to eat me. Very rude. That's that here. Okay. And this is a male. So what you have here is you have its gonad, so it's its testicle.
After a thorough examination, it seems the Arctic fox's leg is at last beginning to heal.
Okay, well, good news is that these pin tracks look completely stable. If the bone is stable, that is good news for the healing process. Okay, thanks, Tom. There's a decent chance that we might be able to get this leg to heal up properly. It's going to have a big old scar there, but animals don't tend to care about that. So yeah, we'll see.
Midday approaches, and the surgery is already close to capacity as exotic creatures, great and small, come flooding in.
When he was born, was he able to walk? Yeah, okay.
As vet Struan Henderson tries to work out what's affecting a pet goat, Chris prepares to tackle another patient who's just arrived in reception.
How long have you had this animal for? 6 months. Any sneezing or coughing or anything like that? No runny eyes?
No.
Okay, let me just check that Lucy's registered him with you, and then once that's done, then you can go, and I'll give you a ring.
Achilles the cheetah is suffering from a bout of unexplained sickness, but Chris doesn't seem too concerned.
Vomiting is not an uncommon thing in cheetahs. Depending on the age of it, they do eat foreign bodies. They do have quite sensitive stomachs. They get a number of diseases that relate to the stomach that cause vomiting. We'll probably have to put it on fluids and anaesthetise it, X-ray it, and take some bloods and so on, and try and find out what's going on.
In treatment room 2, Stroon finally locates the problem with the pet goat.
So, yeah, I mean, it does feel that there is an abnormality with the bones in the neck, okay? It feels like it, yeah, maybe has sort of luxated or something like that. I can't tell exactly what's going on, though, just by feeling it. Did you bring the X-rays that the other vet took? No, okay. I think we should look to taking some more X-rays, okay? Good lad.
With the Arctic fox operation complete, Chris focuses on his next patient.
No, so not so friendly, huh?
Yeah.
I think we'll give you a little dart.
Veterinary nurse Tara Scott plays an important role supporting the hospital's 3 vets.
Some of the cheetahs that we actually come in, you can handle them, so we can then just give them an injection. But this one, the owner said it's not friendly, and we just went in and it's growling, so it's safer for us to then just use the blow dart, and then the animal's asleep, we handle it more safely. So it stops us being injured and less stressful for the animal if they're not used to being handled as well. So this is our blow dart box. There's these needles here. What happens is we put a little plug over the end, and then as it goes into the animal, the plug comes up, and we use a pressurized syringe, and that then injects the drug into the animal.
With these sorts of animals, as soon as you do anything that there's a little bit of pain involved, you know, they can give you quite a nasty bite. So we'll just dart him with a blowpipe through the cage. He should work quite quickly. He should be asleep within 5 minutes or so.
Come out.
So normally we leave them for about 10 to 15 before we remove them, because some of these drugs, they can give a false impression that they're deeper than they are. So sometimes you can go in and suddenly the head's up and they're, you know, looking to give you a bite.
With Achilles out for the count, Chris can safely begin his examination.
We've just got Achilles under anaesthetic now, and when I feel the abdomen, up in the cranial part of the abdomen, up in the front of the abdomen, I can feel quite a hard sausage-shaped sort of loop of intestine about that sort of long. Now, it's not normal for there to be a structure like that in that part of the abdomen.
Suspecting something sinister, Chris hopes a set of X-rays will help pinpoint the problem. Something doesn't seem right. Chris calls on fellow vet Giulio Russo for a second opinion.
With a sort of slightly dense material with the highlights down each side.
Yep.
I wonder if there's an impaction or there's got a plastic bag in there or something like that.
Not convinced Achilles' owners have given him the full story, Chris decides to dig a little deeper.
I asked them before whether there's anything that could have eaten or so on, and they didn't seem to think so. I've just spoken to him again now, and he says that the maid, the helper that they've got, had put some towels in with the cheetah, and he'd seen the cheetah eating the towel. It looks to me extremely likely that there's probably a towel caught or some cloth caught in the cranial part of the abdomen. If we are correct and there's something like that in there and it stays in there too long, then we're going to get necrosis and dying off of the loops of intestine, which, you know, ultimately be fatal and very painful as well for this cheetah. So the owners agreed to go ahead and do surgery, so that's what we're going to get on and do now.
While Chris prepares to operate on the cheetah, in the next treatment room, Giulio faces his own big cat problem.
It's very relaxed, huh? Kind of a little bit overweight, I would say.
Yes, he's not overweight.
Yeah, he's not really making a lot of exercise during the day. It's not okay.
Education is really a huge part of our job because the local population, expats and locals, are not really educated. So suggesting a proper diet and suggesting where to keep the animal and how to stay and provide care for the animal, it's a big part of our job. Yeah.
Back in the theatre, the cheetah operation is underway.
Right, so here's the loop of intestine that's got the impaction. Yeah, so there's definitely something in here, huh? You can see the difference in there's a little bit of loss of the blood supply to this part of intestine. The intestine is nice and smooth here, and then it comes to quite a hard patch.
Chris finally sets eyes on the item blocking the cheetah's intestine.
You got a kidney dish or something I can just drop this in?
Yeah.
Okay, if we can take that away from me, please. If we can just...
Thanks to Chris and his team, Achilles should soon be on the road to a quick recovery.
There you go. Finished.
The operation seemed to go quite smoothly, and yeah, pretty optimistic he'll make a full recovery. So hopefully this owner will remember not to leave things like towels in the enclosure again.
I'm proud to be part of the team, really good team.
As another day draws to a close, who knows what tomorrow will bring for Chris and his dedicated